everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart, and welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here, and what we have going on today is a serving tray. This is about 17 inches by about 12 and a half, and it is a wooden, really nice wooden tray that a friend gave to me that I've refinished mostly. Gotta clean it up a little bit. I refinished it. I took out some decorations that were in the middle here and stained it and varnished it in the middle to prepare it, hopefully, to accept the paint without any incident. Yeah, so what I have here for my pillow is my Multi-Pro. And this is the 47-3110. I'll be laying down in the center. And then I will be laying down my colors, which I have over here. Here's one of my colors. This is Iridescent Silver by Golden. You can see the consistency here. I'm going to lay it down my usual little S pattern, my little weird S pattern. And then we'll blow it out and we'll see what we come up with. And I don't have any gloves. I don't have it taped. I find that I don't need to tape the inside. I don't have any gloves because I want to be able to touch this and feel it and not accidentally get paint in here. I feel like I'll feel the paint on my fingers better than if I have it on my gloves. And then this is my Australian Floetrol Cell Activator recipe, still left over from the fluidart experience. I have this for the next 10 years. So I'll be using an Australian Floetrol. Did I say Australian? It's Australian Floetrol for a long time. All right, so the first thing first, we're going to lay down the pillow. So I'm going to totally skip most of the laying down of this pillow and come right back to the laying down of the paints. Now, S pattern. Here we go. So I'm going to go on a hyper fast speed here, 5 times the speed, and call out the colors as I go here. And if you're new here, you'll discover that I try to keep my videos as short and on point as possible and only convey the necessary information that you need to see. You can see this on fast forward just as easily as on full time, and you're going to save 6 minutes here in the process. So the first color that I laid down there was Artez's Pearl Space Gray with Carbon Black by Golden. The second color was Golden's Iridescent Silver. This color here is my gold combination, which is 24 karat gold combined with Golden's Iridescent Gold. This color here is Quinacridone Nickel Azo Gold by Golden with TLP's Zeus. This combination is Modern Masters Pearl White with Golden's Shading Gray. And this last color is Modern Masters Pearl White with Golden's Iridescent Pearl. So for this blowout, I'm using my Berta hairdryer. It's 1000 water. I got it off Amazon a couple of years ago. I'm using Australian Floetrol Cell Activator, which I got from Jessica Winterstrom from the fluidart experience. I simply have so much of this, I just have to try to use it up. I do have a recipe for American Floetrol Cell Activator. It's video 141. I'll link it above. It works every bit as well. So I'm just going at 2 times the speed here as I lay down the titanium white cell activator, Australian, and then the oxide black. And I'm just going to stay on voiceover here as I get ready to blow this out, and I'm going to use high and cool for settings. And I'm going to do this very quickly after laying down the cell activator because you don't want it to sink too fast. You want to be able to spread it out as quickly as possible. So here I go with the blowing out the composition. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to do a quick commercial break. You saw in the very beginning of this the Fluidart Boutique, which is happening in DC from the 6th to the 8th of August. I'll be teaching 3 classes of blooming. We're going to bloom 4 coasters, a CD for the face of a clock, and also a jar lid. And I'm going to share with you 2 different pillows. We're going to have both the Multi-Pro and the Glidden available for you to look at and use if you want to. And also I'm going to have Australian and American Floetrol available so you can see the difference firsthand as we go through the creations. I just thought it would be great to provide both options so you guys can choose how you want to make things. Now back to the creation here. As you saw there, I took the straw out and started blowing a little bit into the cell activator to try to get it to start flowing because I was having a little bit more difficult time in that one particular section. And as I blow this out, I continued to have a little bit of trouble, but just got to get that hairdryer down there and start blowing it as soon as possible so that cell activator doesn't sink fully down to the bottom. You'll see in a second here that there's one section I wasn't particularly happy with, so I decided to add a little more cell activator, both the white and the black, and I'm going to blow it out again by mouth to try to get a little more shape and composition going on in this particular section. So here what I'm trying to do is before I go too far, I try to get the composition as close to where I want it to be as possible. I worry about the little details later. I am always keeping in mind to keep it as natural looking as possible and trying to get the composition to spread out through the tray as far as I can and make it look natural. All right, it's not looking like a whole lot yet. I'm going to lay down some more pillow. So I've said this before, especially with Lazy Susans and trays, is to go a little lighter on the pillow lay down to start with, and then you can always add more like I'm going to do here. And as I lay this down, I'm going to skip cut and go fast through this because you don't need to see all this. Okay. I'm going to cut through a lot of this. Matter of fact, I should just cut the camera off. Over the next 5 minutes, I use that spatula to push the paint up against all 4 of the sides, and I'll be back here in a second. All right, I'm back after all of the layering out of the paint. So now I'm going to play around a little bit, get some composition, get this to stretch out some. And I kind of like it, kind of like the way it is. I know if I play over here too much, it's probably going to get a little convoluted. But let's start there first and see what happens. So what I'm trying to do here is use that straw to help blow out that petal a little bit going toward the corner because it's really a dead spot right there and I want to fill it in a little bit. But like I mentioned about convolution, as I start to blow this out, it kind of distorts and gets all wonky on me and then I'm kind of stuck. But I'm just going to keep going here and then I'll talk about this afterward. I might do better with a palette knife. So a little bit ago I mentioned worrying about the details later. This is where I'm worrying about the details, the final blowout, the final composition. And I'm going to skip through some of this, but give you the gist of what I'm doing here. At this point, it's up to you to decide how you want to do things. There's no way I can teach you what to do here. You just have to decide what looks good to you and go with it. And it really is amazing what you can do with the straw. Once you start to blow something out, you can really sculpt it in certain directions just based on how you're blowing it. You'll see some of that in a second. I think for now I'll put on some music and come back soon. So through here, instead of trying to spread out the bloom, what I'm doing is pulling from the pillow into the bloom to give the petals some kind of shape. So I'm going to fast forward through some of this as well. So as you can see throughout most of this section, I'm doing a lot of little tiny touches here and there. So small I really can't even zoom in on it. So I'm going to just kind of skip a little bit here, but trust me that I am doing some palette knife work. with the exception of that, I really like this. I think I'll leave the ends a little more blunted. I think we're about done. Simple. It's a simple one. Simple and elegant. So I'm going to stop right here. This is where we are. So everyone, that's a wrap. Here are the wet results right after finishing, and then a little over 3 weeks later, I've resined it, and here are those resined results. So if you're new here and haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, hit that bell and all. You'll get all my latest art tutorials. A thumbs up and a comment would be appreciated. I get back to everybody, and it helps me grow. So at the end here, I will have a link to my trays playlist so you can see other color combination and other types of trays. And again, I'm going to extend the offer. If you have a particular problem or a particular question, I am offering to do personalized and customized tutorials. I've done a few so far. I think they've been really successful. If you're having a particular problem, just let me know by emailing me. It's in the description below. So that's all for now, everybody. Take care. Till next time.